Hello, everyone, and welcome to TSAM Digital. I'm Ana Luisa, and today our discussion will be focusing on the investment control systems journey over the last 12 months, following their launch into the European market, with observations on the challenges for investment managers with regards to data and reporting, including ESG and sustainability. Today, we're talking to Dom Bryan. He's the head of sales for Europe for ICS. Dom, could you give us a quick introduction to ICS and your value proposition?
Sure, yeah. ICS are a business that started 6 years ago, headquartered in Sydney, Australia. And basically, we have built a true SaaS platform called Athena, which is an investment data management platform. We're a modern, it has a modern cloud-based approach to the technology. It's fully hosted. It's a fully hosted web-enabled platform. In terms of our market, our target market, we work with asset owners, pension funds, and also the asset management sector as well. We have ISO 27001 accreditation, which allows you to not only establish, implement, and maintain software, but also it's very important for information security management. So that's a little bit of background about the organization. We have launched our business into the European market, and we have an office now in London as well. Why are we different? I suppose nowadays buyers are quite savvy in terms of they kind of know what they're looking for. They do their research. I think the main points are we have a rapid deployment of our solution. So rather than waiting for months or years to get a system in and start seeing some return on investment, we can do that quickly. We have high touch support. We have a relatively disruptive commercial model, and we have a very flexible implementation approach. So, you know, the client can do it themselves, we can do it with them, or we can do it for them. And if you could just bring up the first slide, Anna, I'll talk a little bit about our main principles. So it looks relatively straightforward, but we often find that speaking to clients, it's not always the case. So the three main principles of the business are, we want to get all your data in one place, number one. Then we want to have some control around that data source, so that it becomes a trusted platform for you to then go on. And our third principle is to report. So the reporting that we provide is very scalable, and this includes general reports, but also for ESG, which I'll talk about later on. We can either integrate with your reporting systems like R or Python. We provide a Microsoft Power BI. So they're all best-in-class reporting solutions.
So Dom, following our interview with ICS earlier this year, could you provide an update on the first 14 months in the European operation?
Absolutely. So yeah, we launched in the EU market, as you say, about 14 months ago. And we're really excited to have onboarded 2 new clients in that period, which is a validation really of what I talked about earlier, what we can provide and how quickly we can help clients. One of them is the biggest pension fund in Switzerland, and they wanted to centralize data and also automate some of their processes. And the second one is a UK-based organization called Hargreaves Lansdown, which I think most people will have heard of. And I suppose I'll just take the quote from one of their people involved in the procurement, which is they wanted to put even better data into the hands of their investors. So elsewhere around the world, I suppose the other clients I could mention are Active Super in the Australian market, and we did an announcement on that as well. So they're the main ones that we've onboarded over the last 12 months, 14 months.
Wonderful. And what do you see as the main challenges for investment managers regarding data and reporting?
Yeah, so it kind of aligns itself to some of the principles I talked about earlier of our organization. So if you're looking, the hot topic now, most of the conferences you go, etc., are talking about ESG because there's a compelling event there. People have to have something in place in the relatively short to medium term. And what you find with ESG data is it can be relatively undefined, unstructured, and so you have to have a system that can cope with that and obviously manage it, and we can do that. The other thing is you have to overlay your ESG data with your investment data. So you need a flexible system to be able to do that. And that's something that we can provide and have provided for a number of our clients. And then again, aligning to what I talked about earlier, you need to be able to build reports that can scale, but also more importantly, to make your data shine as well and make it a competitive advantage for your business.
So Dom, you mentioned that ESG data is just another part of the puzzle for investment data management. Could you please tell us what ICS are doing in the investment management community to resolve these challenges and what kind of support and advice you can offer?
Well, we're actually creating a UK peer-based ESG working group with a local consultant, a London-based consultant, and we're planning to schedule meetings on a fairly frequent basis. I think one of the challenges that you have, especially out in the market, people who are looking for information on ESG and some learning knowledge, is there's quite a lot of noise, and often you might join a webinar, which is for an hour, and you kind of come away with more questions than answers. So I think a regular peer-based group meeting to discuss it and share their practical experiences, I think is a good way to go. And what we want to produce out of that, because it's going to be hands-on and collaborative, is a kind of how-to guide for ESG and sustainability reporting, built on people's input. So it's kind of moving feast, hopefully. Now, we already have a number of organizations signed up who are eager to participate for some of the reasons I've just explained. But I suppose if there's anybody out there, any parties out there who are interested in joining this group, we actually have one on Tuesday, November the 23rd in the City of London. It's actually on Coleman Street, which is quite central near to Moorgate. So beyond the guide, one of the things that you'll benefit from, just to finish off, is you're going to have direct interaction and networking with your peers, contribution to that how-to guide that we're putting together, branding of yourself and your organization as well. And there's going to be an opportunity to leverage expertise and knowledge from industry experts who are also going to be coming along. And what we're going to cover, just to finish off, is things like regulation, ESG data providers and tools, risks and opportunities, reporting, obviously ESG reporting we've talked about, but also we're going to add some meat on the bones around cost and budgeting for ESG projects, because that we're often hearing from a lot of people we talk to, that's kind of a kind of gray area. Nobody really knows how much to implement something to help them do this is going to cost. So, as I say, if you're interested, get in touch and we'll book you on one of the workshops that we've put together.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dom.